Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, Senator McCain. Thank you for joining us for this dialogue at the NALEO Annual Conference with the nation's Latino leadership. We are honored to host you today. We would like to give you an opportunity for your opening remarks.
Thank you very much, and thank you all from the National Association of Latino Elected Officials and Appointed. And I'd like to thank Arturo Vargas. I'd like to thank all of the elected officials and thank all of you for your dedicated service to state, local, and national government, including, I understand you heard from one of the great leaders in America, Carlos Gutierrez, our respected Secretary of Commerce, who does such a wonderful job for America. I thank all of you for being here, and I appreciate the opportunity. Frankly, I would have appreciated it more if we could have had a town hall meeting. I understand that my friend Senator Obama, who I admire and respect a great deal, will be here after me, and I believe in the town hall meeting. I believe that we both could have stood here and responded to your questions or comments or views, because I think it's time America listened. Leaders listened. Americans are hurting now. So we could listen and also we could respond. So I would have appreciated the opportunity to appear here alongside my respected colleague in the United States Senate, but that's not the case. And so I'd like to make a few remarks and tell you that I look forward to taking your questions, comments, and occasional insults. That's what town hall meetings are about. Thank you. I won't emphasize by indulging your patience with a lengthy speech, as I mentioned, and I enjoy listening and responding to my audience's questions, obviously, more than I do delivering formal remarks. Maybe that has something to do with my talents. So I want to share just a few thoughts with you and then move quickly to your questions or comments. We meet after another week of rising gasoline prices, another stock market sell-off, more mortgage foreclosures, and the increasing loss of the American people's confidence in the economy. I don't have to tell you that. You are closest to the people. The question of how government should respond to these troubling developments will shape much of the debate in this election. And I want to offer a few thoughts about what I believe we should do and what we should not do. It's a terrible mistake, in my view, to raise taxes during an economic downturn. Increasing the tax burden on Americans impedes job growth, discourages innovation, and makes us less competitive. Small businesses, as you well know, are the biggest job creators in our economy. Keeping individual tax rates low isn't intended as a favor to wealthy Americans. Most small business owners pay those rates, and taking more money from them deprives them of the capital they need to invest and grow and hire. There are 2 million Latino-owned businesses in America, a number that will be 3 million in the next decade, and it's growing very rapidly. The first consideration we should have when debating tax policy is how we can help these companies grow and increase the prosperity of millions of American families whose economic security depends on their successes. Government should be on their side, not in their way. Our current business tax rate, the second highest in the world, will postpone our recovery from this downturn and make us increasingly less competitive in the world economy. When a corporation plans to expand and hire more workers, they face a choice between building a new plant here at home and building it in a country like Ireland, where they'll pay less than half the tax rate they pay today. Employers can hire more people or they can pay more taxes. We can no longer afford the luxury or nostalgia for past times when American business faced little serious competition in the world. The global economy is here to stay. It's here to stay, my friends. We cannot build walls to foreign competition, and why should we want to? When have Americans ever been afraid of competition? America is the biggest exporter, importer, producer, saver, investor, manufacturer, and innovator in the entire world. Americans don't run from the challenge of a global economy. The courage, patriotism, ingenuity, and industry of our forebears earned the reverence that we hold for our storied past, but we have never been a country that substitutes nostalgia for optimism. We have never been a country that would rather go back than forward. We're the world's leaders, and leaders don't fear change, hide from challenges, pine for the past, and dread the future. We make the future better than the past. That's why I reject the false virtues of economic isolationism. Any competent government should embrace competition. It makes us stronger, not hide from our competitors and cheat our consumers and workers. We can compete and win, as we always have, or we can be left behind. Lowering barriers to trade creates more and better jobs and higher wages. It keeps inflation under control and interest rates low. It makes goods more affordable for low and middle income consumers. Protectionism threatens all those benefits. Opening new markets for American goods and services is indispensable to our future prosperity. But in the global economy, what you learn is what you earn. Today, half of Latinos and half of our African Americans entering high school will never graduate. By the 12th grade, U.S. students in math and science score near the bottom of all industrialized nations. As Bill Gates said, this isn't an accident or flaw in the system, it is the system. Many parents feel their children won't have the same opportunities they had. That is simply unacceptable in a country as great as ours. In many schools, particularly where people are struggling the hardest, the situation is dire, and I believe poses the civil rights challenge of our time. We need to shake up failed school bureaucracies with competition, hold schools accountable for results, strengthen math, science, technology, and engineering curriculums, empower parents with choice, remove barriers to qualified instructors, attract and reward superior teachers, and have a fair but sure process to weed out incompetence. I've spent the last 2 weeks addressing the problem that's causing Americans the most pain right now. Right now, the dependence on imported oil, and how to free ourselves from a situation that threatens our economy, our environment, and our national security. Obviously, the crisis most acutely affects lower-income Americans who often drive the furthest to work and own the oldest cars. There are few but not many things we can do in the short term to alleviate the economic distress Americans are feeling as they pay more and more of their income for gasoline and higher prices for groceries and almost all goods that are affected by the spiraling increase in the price of oil. But we must commit ourselves to addressing this problem as quickly and as humanly possible, and we must commit this country to the great national cause of breaking our strategic dependence on foreign oil. To do that, we must address both the supply and demand sides of the problems. We must produce more oil at home, and while exploration and production will take some time, it will have an earlier effect on the oil futures market. When futures traders believe the supply of oil will increase in the years ahead and the cost of a barrel of oil will be lower, it will help curb some of the speculation in these markets that are driving prices so much higher today. But the lasting solution to all the problems associated with our dependence on foreign oil is to begin in the next term of the next president the most ambitious program ever